Hey everybody, so today we are on the hunt for some jewelweed or spotted touch-me-not. It's a wild edible plant and it's found in moist areas, often marshes or swamps, wetlands, anywhere really along a stream bed or anywhere that's damp. So we've got a lot of spotted touch-me-nots growing here. Now, most of the plant is edible. You can eat the shoots and the leaves in early spring and summer. Now the flowers are out, and this is mid-August in Ontario, and so the best thing that spotted touch-me-not or jewelweed is good for right now is for poison ivy remedy. So basically, it helps with inflammation, it helps with skin irritations, it can help with all kinds of things. So it's pretty simple to identify. It's these little cone orange guys. They kind of look like a large mouth opening with kind of a tongue. So, and they're kind of falling off in my hand. So what we want to do, we're going to collect some jewelweed and some plantain to make a salve. Ooh, it's kind of scary to walk through here. We might have to watch out for some snakes. So yeah, the salve's going to be a mixture of olive oil, coconut oil, and beeswax, essential oil. We're going to heat up the plantain and heat up our jewelweed here. I'd say there's maybe 1 billion touch-me-nots. There's acres and acres of them everywhere. Pretty much the entire plant is medicinal. We're not going to really use the roots as much, but the leaves and the flowers and the stems we're all going to use. So I'm going to look for one that doesn't look too yellow. Which one? This one looks pretty good. Alright, so I'm just going to cut at the base here and take that. Now I'll get another one just in case. Obviously, I wish I could share my allotment with everyone watching because there's just so much. It's outrageous. It's outrageous. Come on. Come on. Come on. She absolutely loves this marsh. In the spring, there was nothing here. It was all pure mud everywhere. We had no idea what was going to grow here, if anything at all, but wow, we could never have expected this. Not in our wildest dreams. All right, let's go look for some plantains. Now, plantains are one of the most common weed that you'll see. Most people just dig them up and get rid of them. They have incredible medicinal properties. It is immense. I can't even begin to name them all, so I'll go and I'll research them and then I'll name them all here and I'll list them. I'm probably listing them right now. Anyway, these are the plantains. They're very small, so you could eat these in a salad or something, fresh. We're gonna go after the bigger guys because we're not making them into a salad and we want them fairly potent anyway, so we'll go for the bigger plantains. There's all kinds of different forms of plantain. You've got narrow leaf plantain, which are really good for eating. So our little tiny, got our tiny house back there, trailer there, greenhouse. Yep, it's like a little homestead. All right, we're getting into some, where's our bigger plantains? Oh, here we go. They love disturbed soil, so disturb, and they will just grow everywhere. Oh, here's some big ones. Look at these. Beautiful. All right, now we want the leaves, so I'm just gonna reach down in here and grab. So since we want like 1/3 of a cup, because we're making a small batch, I'll just grab maybe like 4 or 5. And it says you can eat the young leaves. So yeah, they're a lawn weed. They grow absolutely everywhere. And in the summertime, you'll notice that they grow this giant stalk coming out of them like that. They have these long strands that come down the back, which you kind of want to remove before eating, I've noticed. The leaves, while they're young, don't really have the strings, but once they become older, they get pretty stringy. All right. That should be good. Here is the self-heal. This little purple flower here. And so the leaves, the flowers, the stem, it's all edible. So you can either eat it, but we're gonna turn it into the salve today. So we're gonna go hunting for these guys. And they grow in all sorts of places. They can grow near waterbeds, they can grow in dry places, they can grow really anywhere. At least that's my interpretation of it, because I'm literally seeing them everywhere. So Here's some. It seems like they like disturbed soil as well. So I'm just gonna collect a few of these. Just gonna collect the tips and put them in here so that we can have some of these in our salve as well. Wow, we hit the jackpot. Wow. It's important to know what plants you can consume during this time to keep your system healthy, to keep your immune system boosted, because there's so many different things that we're fighting these days, and we really want to balance our energies and just stay safe. And honestly, I find the best way to stay balanced is to connect with nature. We are monkeys after all, and this is our habitat. For thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years, we've lived out in the woods or in the plains, and this is our home. And so you really feel connected. You really feel one with everything. These medicinal plants, they're everywhere. So, and the trees, they're coming back too. Right, guys? Spreading. All right, here's all of our lovely weeds. Let's go make a salve. All right, so welcome to our little apothecary here. We're going to be making the salve now, and so I'm just going to cut up these different weeds here, different flowers. We're going to chop them all up, and then we're going to put them in a pot. We've got lots of things on the shelves here that I've collected, and some that I've turned into tinctures, but we have to wait a few weeks before they're ready. And I've got to add a lot more to this shelf because, as you can see, I've got lots of herbs drying here, lots of medicinal plants. So hopefully I'll get outside again and collect more, but it's just been so hot. All right, let's cut these up. Okay, so first what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the heat, about medium heat, and we're going to fill up our pot about an inch full of fresh water. The idea is to have a double boiler, so you heat up the water, but you're not directly heating up you're not sauteing the herbs. We're just going to gently heat them with the olive oil. So we're going to take about, I'd say, I'm going to try 1/3 of a cup of the Jewelweed here, or the spotted touch-me-not. Get some of its good stems here. It's got lots of, we'll just push it down because the more the merrier. So going for 1/3 of a cup. All right, so I'm just going to put it in here. And then we want also 1/3 of a cup of the plantain. So I'm going to use olive oil, but I'm also going to use some coconut oil too as well. So I'm going to do about 2/3 of olive oil. All right, so let's put that in. Now, coconut oil also has a lot of very beneficial properties. It's antifungal, antibacterial. It's got a lot of great remedies, and it's also really, really gentle on the skin. Just going to have this heat up. All right, now let's add in 1/4 of a cup of these self-heal flowers. Maybe a few more. You can use dried or fresh. So we want the oil to turn a very dark green and to be very fragrant. So we're just going to keep, stirring this around for a little while. I'm going to maybe cover it with a plate, turn it down to low heat because we don't want to cook our herbs. And then once they're done, I'm going to strain out the oil, and then we're going to put the oil back in here, and then we're going to melt some of my beeswax into it. I have a bunch of beeswax pellets, but I want to use this up, so. And then we're also going to get some Himalayan salt, as well as maybe some lavender essential oil, because lavender, as we all know, is very, very healing for irritated skin. So I've left this on low heat for about an hour now, and the fragrance coming off this is extremely potent. So I think it's ready. You can see that the oil is a bit greener than it was. You should use a cheesecloth to drain it, but I don't have that right now, so Just go with this. Oh, that's a hot bowl. Whew. All right. That's about good, I think. All right, so I've just melted this beeswax. It's about 2 tablespoons. And then pour the beeswax in here. And now we've got our lovely medicinal oil here. I'm just gonna pour that on top. I'm gonna mix those together. They're gonna melt up and turn the heat up a little bit. And stir this up a bit. It's you can see how the beeswax is hardened already. So we're just gonna melt that again. So this is where we're gonna add in our Himalayan salt, which is an antiseptic and a disinfectant. So let's just get some, I've got some Himalayan salt here. I'm gonna do about 2 tablespoons of that. And look who's down here. Are you listening to everything I'm saying? Yes, okay. All right, 1 roughly. So that's roughly 2 tablespoons of the Himalayan salt. You can use sea salt too. Himalayan salt just has a lot more health benefits. All right, so we're just gonna let this melt up. You can add in your essential oils. So I'm gonna use lavender because it's very helpful for irritated skin. So often with poison ivy, you get like these pus-filled blisters, and so like it feels a lot better when they've finally dried up and they're falling off, and so the salt really helps with that process. Similar to acne too, because acne has little bits of, you know, oil that's been captured, and so the salt really helps to dry out the skin. The lavender is great because it's an anti-inflammatory, so it really helps to calm and relax the skin, as well as the mind too. It smells really good. Alright, so a lot of the salt's dissolved, but not all of it, so potentially sea salt would work better. I'm not really sure. You could try sea salt and see how it works. I'm gonna just scoop it all out into the mason jar, so. Jaw's big enough. There's all the salt coming in. Oh wow, look at that. Alright, so we've got our salve here. I'm gonna just put this lid on. Alright everybody, so we've made our salve and here it is. It works great. We've got a little bit of the Himalayan salt at the bottom, so you might want to just mix that up a bit. But yeah, it's great. Feel free to put it on mosquito bites, poison ivy, any kind of skin irritation. It can work on eczema and all kinds of different issues. Anyways, so we'll see you guys next time. I really hope that you try out this and see if it works. Leave me any comments or have any ideas that you'd like to share. Feel free to put them below. We'd love to hear from you guys. We're constantly looking for new ways to explore like alternatives and explore different lifestyles and just live off of our own minds and our own hands, because we need to stick together in this new world that we're building, and Mother Nature is here for us and we need to be here for each other. And also, check out, if you haven't already checked it out, check out the Herbal Jedi. He's probably got one of my favorite YouTube channels out there. So he has a lot of really fantastic information on how to harvest, how to prepare, how to collect all kinds of wild edible herbs. He teaches you how to make tinctures, how to make oils, how to make poultices, all kinds of things. And he's got an awesome website, he's got an awesome channel. And so I'm going to leave a link in the description below so you can check him out. Oh. So if you guys like this video at all, just feel free to like and subscribe, and we will be waiting for you next time. Good luck with everything, and I hope that you find tons of things to try out and explore and connect with. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Cheers.